Hey everyone, welcome to Hope for Survival YouTube. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you're all doing well, and hopefully wherever you are getting some of this rain and lots of it. I know a lot of areas are pretty much drought stricken, and wells are close to running dry, and times are tough making decisions on watering your livestock and watering your crops and having enough water in your home for your family and sanitation and all the different things that makes water the most important resource that those of us who are like-minded needs. It's been a few days since I stopped by and dropped the video down. Been really busy the last week, 10 days here on the home front, and trying to give my garden a hug and a big kiss to cooperate. And we've had lots of rain, and when it's not raining, we got 90+ degree days here in East Tennessee. And doing some other projects around trimming fruit trees, just some of the scraggly limbs out of them, and hauling loads off to the town dump. Also seeing what they had available that might come in handy. It's a great place to go look for resources, water tanks, 55-gallon drums for collecting water, the 250-gallon caged tanks, PVC, all kinds of stuff that you could have on hand as spares in case you have a water line break when times get tough. Which leads me to the topic of why I'm here doing this video. I got a phone call earlier this evening from a very dear friend, like-minded gentleman who I've had on YouTube before, and oftentimes we'll share thoughts, and that was why he called this evening, was to ask my thoughts on the topic. And during our conversation, one of the things that we talked about was what I call the 24-hour list, and it may be 24 hours or less list. And that is for anyone who keeps some cash on hand at home for emergencies or things needed, and that you need to go out and buy, or ever what you want to use it for. It's your money. And I was sharing with him how 10 or so years ago we were talking about the dollar going digital, and the fact that we know that our current president supports the digital currency platform. And if it goes, what happens? No one truly knows. I know that I think our Congress is trying to push this off to 2030, which still keeps it in line with Agenda 2030. There's some saying that it could come sooner than that. And have you sat down and really given thought how it's going to impact you, and what choices you may or may not make, choices you may have to make, where your income comes from to sustain you day to day, and if it comes in digital form and you are trying to stay off the system. I've heard discussions in the past that the transition to digital is going to be with a big hug and a smile. It's not until after you're on the system there's some discussions that there's going to be a question of commitment from every individual of age of your loyalty to this ongoing transition, which will go beyond digital currency, a surveillance state where everything's tracked. Some say you're not going to be able to spend as you desire, even though it's your money. It's going to be monitored, and you basically will get an allowance out of your money. And you can't save it month to month to build it up, because what you don't spend, they pull back. But that's a discussion for another day. What we were talking about is if government authorities, if they come down and tell you that anyone setting on the US dollar, which clearly states on the dollar it's owned by the US government, that they're recalling all the currency, and you basically have 12 or 24 hours to turn it all in or lose the value of it. And the odds are, when you turn it in, it's going to be a decreased value from the face amount of what you hand in. But one of the things that we talked about 10 or so years ago was many of us made a list. Okay, we made a list of if in fact this happens, and there's a recall on the dollar, having a list available of everything that you need to buy, that you can buy within X hours in a day, that you can pay cash for, to get some value out of that money versus losing face value of turning it in. And there was lots of good discussions years back, and then I think here in the beginning of Hope for Survival in 2020, 2019, 2020, because it was on our Thursday night Zoom, we had this discussion again about making out a list of items. Okay, when I say items, everyone's list will be different, because it's going to be based off of where you live, how much room you have. Do you have a farm? Do you live in suburbia? Do you live in an apartment? How much you're going to be able to purchase. It might be food, it might be say a Berkey to clean your water, or some other form of water treatment systems. It could be lots and lots of dehydrated or freeze-dried food. It may be going to the grocery store and buying lots of beef and chicken and pork. But it's the things outside the box, like hand tools, things that you can use or someone can use for you to, say, work on a car, or to do maintenance on your home, or to replace faulty pipes, or to do electrical work around your house. It might be solar panels, it might be solar generators or solar batteries that you stock up on. It might be tires for your vehicles. It might be tires for tractors, lawnmowers, batteries for lawnmowers, four-wheelers, cars and trucks. things of this nature. You need to look around and think about what you have to maintain your lifestyle on your property to keep it going. Okay, maybe a new tiller, but tiller requires fuel. Okay, so that may mean going and buying a bunch of 5-gallon fuel tanks and stocking up on fuel. So only you're going to be able to make your list to fit your life needs, lifestyles, and so forth. But definitely try to find maybe thrift stores where you can go, a co-op, and buy lots of hand tools, hoes, saws, rakes, things of that nature that you can manually use. Something that we picked up 10 or so years ago that we still have is one of the old-timey push mowers without a motor. It's got the blades from wheel to wheel. When you push it, they like turn and cut grass. If you're as old as I am, you may remember being at a grandparent's house and mowing their grass for them uh, using one of these items. So take a look around, and you may not have a truck or something to haul a lot of this stuff. So something you may want to do is to make that list now, know where it's going to be at when you need to go buy it, kind of price it, and add all your cost up to see if it fits within the currency range that you have on hand. Because if an announcement's made, like it has been in other countries, when they're getting ready to make the switch, the banks may close and ATMs may shut down and not be available for you to get cash. They may automatically lock down all existing cash other than what's out in the hands of people. And something else to consider is when they make the announcement that you've got 12 or 24 hours, there is the possibility that the value of the dollar is just, the bottom's going to fall out of it. It's going to plummet. And I don't know how fast, if they've had warning in advance. There may be price adjustments to things. You know, you've heard the funny story of, well, it's not too funny, but how you may have to push a wheelbarrow full of $100 bills to buy a loaf of bread. And actually, I forget which country it was in Africa that actually happened in. So plan your list, make it out. Again, know where your stuff's going to be at, how much it's going to cost you, and you want to spend as much of your hard-earned cash as you possibly can do. So give that some thought. And if you're still not convinced that every day gets crazier and crazier, you know, just look what's happening in Iran right now. You know, we demand they hand over their material that they make weapons with. I can't say on YouTube. We demand it, or else we're going to bomb you into the Stone Age. And they don't, and we start bombing them and bombing them and bombing them and bombing them to the point that we're running low on resources to continue bombing them. And then we threaten to bomb them some more and to flatten them out. And then they decide they want to negotiate. And then for several weeks, it's a cat and mouse game back and forth. Finally, they have a so-called deal. Now, you might remember back around 2012, I think it was, 2016. Is that right? 2016. The president before the current president, whose initials are Bo. Do you remember how upset conservatives and patriots got when he paid $1.7 billion to the Iranian government? Even if it was money that the U.S. owed them since prior to 1979, it was actually on a $400 million weapons contract that was never delivered to them because things went to tank in 1979 in Iran. Anyway, so we basically paid them the $400 million and then the $1.3 billion interest on that money since 1979. So everyone was, you know, fit to be tied. Well, now we're negotiating and we have a deal. We've reached a deal and we've agreed that we're going to pay them $300 billion to help them recover the infrastructure that we bombed. Not to mention, we're going to allow them to keep some of the weapon stuff that the whole war started over to begin with. So, who won? Who won this conflict? Think about it, and it should really help you to understand about questioning everything that you're being told. Everything, press conferences, news reports. It goes on and on. And I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer. I love my country as much as the next person does. But you know, more and more as life goes on, the years pass. You know, we think about the future of the country for our grandchildren. uh, but it's like every day. It's like, what is real? You know, one of my least favorite classes when I was doing my undergrad was a class in philosophy, and I absolutely hated that class. Just hated it. And now that I'm older, um, I have more interest in philosophy. But one of the things that if you if you take time and step back to everything that has gone on for the last, we'll say, 40, 50 years in America, and especially the last 20, maybe 30, um, so much of the world is philosophical and psychological, and it's pushing the envelope to how much can they get away with while we're still trying to figure it out. And right now, the vast majority is not figuring it out, which is kind of scary, is it not? So it's another day, another 15 cents, as we used to say in the military. You know, salute proudly, move forward, and live to see another day. I just hope that each day that passes, we're wiser. So anyway, I don't want to run this on. I just wanted to share that with you about putting together your list, giving it some consideration as to if things start tanking and they give the 12 or 24-hour notice heads up that everything's switching to a digital platform. Any greenies that you're setting on, how you're going to spend them. Okay. Um, Personally, I know I'm going to spend a few hours at Bass Pro. If you live near one, you can get all kind of goodies, depending how many greenies you've got saved. But you know, again, it's up to you. So anyway, keep your head up. We know how the story goes, and we just gotta ride the waves till our time is called. So take care, be safe. If you like this video, hit like. It does help. And if you have not subscribed, please consider doing so. It's much appreciated, and hope to see you back sooner than this last period that I wasn't able to drop a video. So anyway, blessings to you, and remember, always have hope and faith, and remember, we still live in the best country in the world. Bravo Echo out. Thank you for checking out the Hope for Survival YouTube channel. If you are new to Hope for Survival, you can check out our books at our webpage. Book 1, which is Hope for Survival, Getting You Prepared for Disasters, and Book 2, Hope for Survival, The Mindset, are both available for order on the website. We also offer the Hope for Survival football stick, which is a memory stick set up as a digital filing cabinet with files already loaded on there for you to digitally copy items such as deeds, auto transcript for ownership, wills, living wills, loans, banking information, items that if your home burned down or you had some form of a disaster, you could have all your important papers already digitally filed on this stick. All you do is simply drag the digital file into the appropriate preset folder so that you'll have it in the event of a disaster. You have to flee your home in a hurry, or also if you're away from home and you need critical information that's personal. If you have your memory stick with you, you can put it in your computer and pull that information up wherever you may be. Again, you can find these items to order at our website, https www.hopeforsurvival.com, or you can email me at preparedness101@protonmail.com, and I will try to help you out. Again, thanks for checking out the Hope for Survival YouTube channel. Hope to see you again.